Isang masayang pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Ako ang inyong lingkod, Tutor Madge. Welcome sa ating ETUlay, ang ating libreng online tutorial na hatid ng ating kagawaran ng edukasyon, ICTS EdTech. Ang programang ito ay inaasahang makatutulong at maging karagdagang kaalaman sa mga mag-aaral mula kinder hanggang senior high school, ALS, Alive, at SPED learners. Bukod sa pagsagot ng mga modules, ang ETUlay ay may mga special programs din na siguradong aabangan ninyo araw-araw. Katuwang ang ating mga minamahal na mga magulang at guro ay maitutulay natin ang pagkatuto. Kaya, ihanda na ang inyong module, lapis, papel o kwaderno. Ihanda rin ang isip, mata at tenga sa isa na namang makabuluhang aralin. Tayo nang matuto kasama ang inyong volunteer online tutor sa oras na ito.
Okay, good afternoon everyone at sa lahat po ng ating grade 6 students na nanonood, na naka-tune in, welcome po sa ating panibagong session ng ETUlay online tutorial. And for sure, marami na kayong natutunan sa ating mga past science tutors. Kaya ngayon, proceed naman tayo sa ating next session, which is our grade 6 science. Okay, welcome everyone. So once again, before we start, let me introduce myself first. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tutor Vince from SDO Manila, your science tutor, together with Tutor Doms from SDO Caloocan City. So kami po ang inyong makakasama every 3 p.m. to 3:40 p.m. tuwing Monday po yan. And saan nga ba tayo mapapanood? Meron tayong Facebook page. We have DepEd EdTech Unit at saka DepEd tayo sa Facebook po yan. Then mapapanood din po tayo sa YouTube channels na meron po tayong DepEd Philippines, DepEd EdTech, and DepEd TV. Ayan, dyan po tayo mapapanood every Monday, 3 p.m. to 3:40 p.m. Okay? So before we start with our new session or with our new discussion for today, starting today, Monday, November 22 up to November 28, we are celebrating our NSTW or ang ating National Science and Technology Week with a theme of Agham at Teknolohiya tugon sa hamon ng panahon. So ngayong week po yan from November 22 to November 28. Our NSTW or National Science and Technology Week. Okay? So before we start, and for sure, lahat na-miss yung ating online tutorial, shoutout muna natin yung ating mga manunood dyan from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, wherever you are, basta naka-tune in ka, kasama ka dito sa ating pamilya. Okay, shoutout muna natin. Good afternoon po, Alexia K. V. Patricia from 6 Camagong. Ayan, ang bilis mag-flash ng ating mag-flash ng ating comment box. Ang dami talagang nanonood. Ayan, 6 Camagong watching. Ayan, thank you for watching. At saka good afternoon. Watching from Kapihan Elementary School, grade 6 Malikhain. Advisor Ma'am Gladys Ann M. Alejandria. Ayan, shout out po sa inyo. And then, shout out kay Sofia. Ayan, ang bilis talaga mag-flash. Ang daming ang daming gustong ma-shoutout, no? Ibig sabihin lang yan, marami tayong viewers for today. Ayan, shoutout from Tristan James Olivar. Watching from Parayao Centro Elementary School, Bin Mali, Pangasinan. Ayan. And then, happy learning everyone. Ayan, sa advisor daw, si Sir Sonny B. Rarama at saka sa kanilang principal na si Sir Rodelio. Ayan, ang bilis. Rodelio Di Ganyo. Ayan, shout out po sa inyong lahat. Okay, so let us start our new discussion or our new online session for today. So today is, ayan, Science 6 since we are at the quarter 2, week 6. Ayan, respiratory. Today we will be discussing respiratory, circulatory, and nervous system. O, ito ngayon yung ating pag-aaralan. So before we start, i-review muna natin ang ating ano ba yung ating objectives for today. At the end of our tutorial, you will be able to identify the different organs of the respiratory system, circulatory system, and nervous system. And pangalawa nating objectives, we have at the end of our lesson, we will be able to describe the parts and functions of each organ and respiratory system, circulatory system, and nervous system. Okay, yan po ang ating objectives for today. And before we start with our formal discussion, review muna natin yung past discussion nyo kay Tutor Doms. Okay, last week kung naaalala pa, no? So ano ba yung diniscuss ni Tutor Doms last week? Okay, ito. All you have to do is to identify whether the following organs shown is under skeletal, integumentary, or digestive system. Okay, so identify nyo lang po kung yung ipapakita nating organs is under skeletal, integumentary, or digestive system. So all you have to do is to type your answer dyan po sa ating comment box. Okay, and for sure, ready na. Tignan natin kung natatandaan pa ng ating mga grade 6 students ang discussion ni Tutor Doms last week. Okay, ayan po yung ating mga choices. We have the integumentary system, digestive system, at saka skeletal system. Okay, sige, for our number 1 organ, we have the skin. Okay, saan kaya kasama si skin? Is it under skeletal, digestive, or integumentary? Okay, wait natin ang inyong sagot diyan sa chat box or diyan sa comment section. O, ayan, sa tingin nyo, si skin, ayan, meron na akong unang sumagot. Nakita kong unang sumagot, si Jansen Viray. Shoutout sa'yo, Jansen. Talagang ang bilis niya, no? Ang bilis niyang mag-type. Okay, very good. Ayan, so tignan natin, saan ba si skin? Very good. Tignan natin, ang daming may sagot ng integumentary because the integumentary system is the correct answer. Okay, very good. Next, how about our next organ? Ito naman, si stomach. Okay, saan kaya under si stomach? Is it under skeletal, digestive, or integumentary? Okay, type your answer. Okay, very good. Ang bibilis mag-type. Talagang natatandaan nila yung kanilang discussion last time kay Tutor Doms. Okay, for number 2, stomach. Ayan na. Umuulan na ng answers dito sa ating comment box. Okay, very good. Ayan, ang daming may sagot ng digestive system because digestive system is our correct answer. Very good. Congratulations. Nakaka 2 points na sila. Next, how about, ito naman, we have the spine. Now, what system kasama si spine? Is it skeletal, digestive, or integumentary? Okay. Ayan, tignan natin. Ang daming sumasagot. Okay, si spine. Saan kaya kasama si spine? Skeletal, digestive, or integumentary? Ayan, may nakita na akong sagot. Ang bibilis naman talaga sumagot. Very good. We have, ayan, ang daming may sagot ng skeletal system because skeletal system is our correct answer. Very good. And last 2 organs. We still have 2 organs. Ayan. And for our number 4 organs, ito, tatlo siya actually, but it is under the skin also. Okay, we have the epidermis, dermis, and the hypodermis. What system does this or do these organs belong? Is it skeletal, digestive, or integumentary? Okay, ayan. Tignan natin for our number 4 answer. Ayan, nakita ko na unang sumagot si Kuya Adrian. Shout out, Kuya Adrian. Ayan, Adrian Ray Rivera. Ayan, umuulan ng integumentary system because integumentary system is our correct answer. Okay, very good. You have your 4 points. And for our last organ, syempre, last but not the least organ, we have the small and large intestines. Now, where do these organs belong? Is it under the skeletal, under digestive, or under integumentary system? Okay, ayan. Sige nga, for number 5, check natin. Ang daming sumasagot ng, okay, una kong nakitang sumagot. Once again, si Kuya Jansen Viray. Ang bilis naman talagang sumagot ni Kuya Jansen. Okay, his answer is digestive system and other grade 6 students answered digestive system. So that is our correct answer. Okay, very good. Congratulations. I know that you can still remember the topic that you discussed last time or you have learned last time. Okay, so for today, let us proceed to our new organ system. Okay, since we are going to talk about 3 organ systems, we are going to discuss them one by one para hindi kayo malito or mahirapan. And our first organ system is about respiratory system. Okay, let's talk about respiratory system. Ayan, makinig ng mabuti. Okay, respiratory system. Okay, it is a system that enables the respiration process in all living things. Breathing process is essential to both human and animals in order to live. The process of exchanges of gases with the environment is called respiration. So meaning to say, in other words, ang ating respiratory system, this system enables us to respire or do the respiration. Sa madaling salita, in animals and in humans and animals, we are doing the breathing process. Kaya sa madaling salita, respiratory system, this is about our breathing in human and animals. Ang paghinga po. Yan po si respiratory system. Now, ayan, you have there the organs of respiratory system and i-discuss po natin yan. Okay? Ano ba yung mga organs na under kay respiratory system? Okay. Now, let's talk about, ayan na, sinabi ko na kanina, let's talk about the organs under the respiratory system. Siyempre, may kanya-kanyang organs yan at yun yung nagtatrabaho together to perform a specific and significant functions. Okay, our first organ, ayan, we have the nasal cavity. Okay, nasal cavity, its function is to warm, moisturize, and filter air entering the body before it reaches the lungs. Okay, ayan po si nasal cavity. Ayan sa pinakasimula, si nasal cavity. O ano daw ginagawa ni nasal cavity? Ang ginagawa niya daw, it filters the air. So, ibig sabihin, bago yan, yung air natin, before it reaches our lungs, it is being filtered by our nasal cavity. Para syempre, malinis yung ating hinihinga or malinis yung hangin na pumupunta sa ating lungs. Okay, yan si nasal cavity. Next organ, we have our pharynx and the larynx. Okay, what is the function of pharynx and larynx? O, ito naman. Pharynx is also called as the throat. Ayan, yung throat daw dito, siya daw si pharynx. Okay? Next, the common passageway for both food, water, and air. The larynx contains two vocal cords that vibrate when air passes by them. O, ayan po si pharynx at saka si larynx. Si larynx, siya daw ay tinatawag nating throat. Also, yung throat natin dito, kung meron kayong makakapa dyan, yes, meron yan. Siya ay both daw siyang passageway ng food, water, and air. O, di ba kapag umiinom tayo, diyan din dumadaan sa throat natin. And when we breathe, the air we breathe, also dumadaan din siya sa ating throat. And also our food, 'di ba? Yan po si pharynx. Okay? O, ito yung itsura nila and their location. Ayan, no? Si pharynx at saka si larynx. O, yan. Yan po yung under ng ating respiratory system. And of course, last but not the least, ang pinakakilala ng lahat. Ito ang pinakakilala ng lahat. Meron pa pala, we have the trachea. It is also known as the windpipe. It also filters the air. We inhale and branches into bronchi. Ayan po si trachea. Ayan, dito din siya. Windpipe din siya. Ibig sabihin ng windpipe, when we say windpipe, dinadaanan din siya. Kumbaga, sa limbawa, let's say we have, di ba sa tubo, we have, meron tayong gripo, meron tayong mga tubo, di ba? Doon dumadaan yung ating tubig, tama? Sa tubo, yung pipe na yon. And also, we also have the trachea in our body. Siya din yung passageway or siya din yung dinadaanan ng mga hangin. Ayan si trachea. Next, we have the bronchi. Bronchi are the small tubes that carry air into the lungs. Ayan. Kapag si trachea, na-separate na siya into two, ang tawag na natin doon ay bronchi. And next, we have the bronchioles are smaller tubes that branch off into alveoli. Ayan naman, yung mga maliliit-liit na naugat. Yan naman si bronchioles na tinatawag natin. And we have the last one, we have the alveoli, are grape-like structures at the end of each bronchiole surrounded by capillaries. O, ito naman si alveoli. Si alveoli, no? Kung makikita nyo dyan, from trachea, observe niyo yung picture, from trachea, na-separate siya into two. Ayan, para mapunta doon sa dalawang lungs natin. Pag na-separate na siya into two, ang tawag na natin sa kanya is bronchi. Then, si bronchi naman, kapag nagkaroon na siya ng ugat-ugat, kung napapansin nyo dyan, yung mga maliliit na branches, ang tawag na natin sa kanya ay bronchioles. And sa bawat bronchioles natin, yung mga dulo dyan, yung mga pinakadulo ng mga ugat-ugat na yan, yun naman yung tinatawag nating alveoli or alveoli. Okay? O, yan po ang organs. And we have the last one. Ito pala yung sinasabi ni tutor kanina na pinakakilala ng lahat. We have our lungs. Okay? Lungs are the main organs of the respiratory system. Okay? Siya daw yung main organs. This is where exchange of gases occurs. Oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is expelled out. So meaning to say, lungs is our main organ when we are talking about the respiratory system. And dito daw nangyayari si air exchange or the gas exchange. And when we inhale, kapag huminga tayo, we take in oxygen. Okay, inhale. Ayan, oxygen yung pumasok sa lungs natin. And when we exhale, ayan, we are exhaling the carbon dioxide. So, dalawang gas lang ang pag-uusapan natin when we are talking about the respiratory system. We have the oxygen and we have the carbon dioxide. Oxygen, the one that goes in, and the carbon dioxide is the one that goes out. Ayan po si lungs. O, di ba? O, dalawa po ang lungs natin na hindi pwedeng isa lang. Pair po silang dalawa. Okay, yan si respiratory system. Yan yung mga organs na under kay respiratory systems. Okay. Ayan, shoutout muna natin. Ayan, talagang nakikinig yung iba. We have the lungs. Ayan, okay daw, lungs. Shoutout kay John Vercambe, Fame Fiona Versales, Princess S. Corsino, Marshall Angel, Dave Nagumpreza, and shoutout sa lahat ng grade 6, Bongga Minor, our Bongga Minor Elementary School. Ayan, yan yung mga ano natin talagang active na active kapag nandito tayo sa tutorial, no? Okay, yan po yung ating respiratory system. Next, proceed naman tayo sa ating next organ system. Then we have our circulatory system. O, sino ba si circulatory system? Okay, circulatory system is also responsible for the transportation of oxygen, nutrients, hormones all throughout our body. Okay, circulatory system or the word circulatory comes from the root word circulate. Meaning to say circulate, umikot ng umikot. How do you call this? Gumala ng gumala, umikot ng umikot. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng circulate. Or meaning to say, in other words, si circulatory system, siya daw yung, kumbaga, let's talk about in daily life. Para siyang yung Shopee and Lazada. Sila yung nagde-deliver ng ating mga in order, we also have the Lalamove, yan, di ba? Dinideliver nila. So ngayon, meron din tayong delivery sa ating katawan. And yan naman si circulatory system. Why? Because it is responsible for the transportation. Sila yung nagdadala ng mga oxygen, nutrients, hormones sa ating buong katawan. Sila yung may dala nun. Okay, ayan po. Kung mapapansin nyo dyan, si circulatory system, very complex, di ba? Tingnan nyo dyan. We have, sir, ano yung tutor? Ano yung mga red na yan? Ano yung mga ugat-ugat na yan? Ayan. Ayan, go express daw. Okay, very good. Ayan. Ayan si circulatory system. Once again, circulatory system is for the transportation of oxygen and nutrients and hormones and etc. Okay? Now, let's talk about the organs under the circulatory system. Ano-ano ba yung mga parts ng ating katawan na under sky circulatory system? Now, we have this one, the representation of blood. Siyempre, ito for sure, alam na alam ng lahat yung blood. Lahat na nakakita ng blood, okay? The blood is the liquid part that constantly flowing throughout the body. Okay, when we say blood, lahat ng katawan natin, meron yung blood. Sabi nga dyan, constantly flowing, hindi yan tumitigil sa pagdaloy sa ating katawan. Tuloy-tuloy lang yan sa pagdaloy ng katawan. And we have 4 types of blood. We have the RCB or the red blood cells, white blood cells, plasma, and platelets. Yan po yung ating 4 classifications or 4 types of blood. We have the red blood cell, white blood cell, plasma, and platelets. Okay? Next organ, let's talk about the blood vessels. Sige, balikan natin si blood. Sir, sabi mo kanina, si blood, siya yung constantly flowing in our organ, in our body, di ba? Constantly flowing. Sir, the question is, saan sila dumadaan? Okay, saan sila dumadaan kung sila paikot-ikot? Then, we also have, ito yung dahilan o ito yung kanilang daanan. Okay? We have the blood vessels. And when we say blood vessels, the blood vessels are the vast networks of small tubes that carry blood through the bodies. Okay, eto, balikan natin si blood. When we say blood, di ba siya yung liquid and constantly flowing to our body. And when we are talking about when we are going to talk about the blood vessels, diyan po dumadaan yung ating blood. And once na nasugatan kayo, halimbawa, sana wag naman mangyari na nasugatan kayo ng kutsilyo, dumugo yung inyong part. Let's say for example, yung kamay, dumugo. Meaning to say, yung isa or isa sa blood vessels niyo ay na-injured or naputol. Bakit? Kasi lumabas na yung blood. Kasi nga, si blood sa kanya lang dumadaloy. Yan si blood vessels. At napakarami nating blood vessels sa ating katawan. Sobrang dami po niyan. Okay? Lahat ng part ng katawan natin ay meron siyang blood vessels. Now, we have the three types of blood vessels. We have the arteries, veins, and capillaries. Yan po yung ating mga type ng ating blood vessels. Okay? Next, ito naman. Ito for sure kilalang kilala din to ng lahat. Okay, let's talk about the heart. See, the heart is known as the pumping organ of the body. It keeps the blood moving throughout the body, and the average heartbeat of human is 60 to 100 times per minute. Okay, let's talk about the heart. Heart is also an involuntary muscle or involuntary organ. When we say involuntary, ang ibig sabihin niyan, kahit hindi natin isipin, gagalaw yan. Okay? Magbibit yan. Kahit tulog tayo, magbibit yan. Hindi na natin siya kailangang utusan para magbit. Let's say for example, halimbawa, di ba, we have the hands. O kapag si hands, kung gusto natin galawin si hands, gagalawin ko si hands. Iisipin ko lang, ayan, ginagalaw ko si hands. Tapos kapag hindi ko gagalawin, I am not going to move my hand. Di ba? Hindi siya gumagalaw. Yan ang tinatawag nating voluntary. When we say voluntary, kailangan nating isipin na gumalaw pa siya bago siya gumalaw. When we talk about the heart, siya ay involuntary. Meaning to say, hindi na natin siya kailangang utusan para gumalaw, para mag-pump or gumalaw siya bilang isang organ. Yan po si heart. Okay? Next, ang sabi dito, average heartbeat of 60 times or 60 to 100 times per minute. Nagbibit siya ng 1, 2, 3, up to 60 to 100 times per minute. That is an average heartbeat of a human or of the heart. Okay? Next, ito si heart, And siya rin yung dahilan kung bakit nagfo-flow yung blood sa ating katawan. Siya rin yung dahilan nun. Kasi pag pinapump niya, para niyang tinutulak si blood. Okay? Pag tinutulak niya, since the heart is continuously pumping the blood so that our blood is also constantly moving all throughout our body. Yan po si heart. Okay? Next, ito naman. We have the parts of the heart. Meron tayong four parts of heart or four separations in our heart. We have the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, at saka left ventricle. Dalawa lang actually yan. We have the atrium at saka ventricle. Bakit siya naging apat? Kasi we have the left and right. Right atrium, left atrium, that is 2. And we have the right ventricle and left ventricle, that is 4. Okay? Yan po yung organs under the circulatory system. Okay? So before we proceed with our next organ system, ito naman tayo. Trivia muna tayo. Did you know that an artificial heart is a device that replaces the heart? Artificial hearts are typically used to bridge the time to heart transplantation or to permanently replace the heart in the case that the heart transplant is impossible. Or imagine, can you think that we in this world we have what we call an artificial heart, 'di ba? When we see artificial, yan yung gawa ng tao. Kung titingnan niyo yung picture na yan, gawa siya sa silicone-like, or I don't know, that is plastic. So ginagamit yung artificial heart na yan para in case na nagkakaroon ng heart transplant, or a heart transplant is the process in which the donor of the heart ay ibibigay niya yung heart niya doon sa nangangailangan ng heart. So para hindi mahirapan yung body natin, ginagawa muna or nilalagyan ng artificial heart para tuloy-tuloy yung ating circulation ng blood. O, di ba? That is amazing. Our artificial heart. Okay, so before we proceed with our next topic, ayan, shout out ulit tayo sa ating mga viewers dyan. Good afternoon, watching from Bonifacio Memorial Elementary School, QC, ay, science teacher. Wait lang, i-flashback natin. Ayan, science teacher, Ma'am Catherine Dakot. Ayan, shout out po sa inyo, ma'am. Ayan, shout out kay Princess Rona S. Corsino. And si, ay, ang hirap ng name. Gwen, how do you pronounce your name? Gwyneth? Angeline Legaspina Tolentino. Ayan, shout out sa'yo. And hello, Adrian. Happy learning, everyone. Ayan, next, shout out, watching from Balayong Elementary School. Ayan, shout out po sa inyong lahat. And salamat sa tune in dito sa ating tutorial. And isa pa, from Batangas, Taysan District, Tilambo Elementary School. Shout out po sa lahat ng students. Ayan, shout out kay Roxeline Adi Rolf. Okay, so without further ado, let us proceed with our last organ system. And our last organ system is about the nervous system. Okay, observe the picture. Ayan, for sure, just by looking at the picture, you can already identify the parts of the main part or the main organ of the nervous system. Okay, ayan, no? It is the control, ayan, nervous system. It is the control system of our body. It controls other body system, and it also controls the movement and responses of our body. Now let's talk about the nervous system. Nervous system is also called the command center or the control center of our body. And when we say control center, yan ay ang ibig sabihin yan ay siya yung command. Siya yung nagko-control. Ibig sabihin, siya yung pinaka-boss ng ating katawan. Okay? Now, let's talk about the nervous system and its organs. So, ano ba yung mga organs na under kay nervous system? Okay, let's talk about, eto for sure, pinakakilala ng lahat. We have the brain. Ayan, the brain is the primary organ of the central nervous system. Contained within the skull, it receives and interprets the countless signals. Ayan si brain. When we are talking about the brain, siya yung main part ng ating nervous system. At siya daw yung nag-i-interpret ng napakaraming signals sa ating katawan. Let's take for example, di ba, ikaw, nadapa ka. Nadapa. Then, di ba, ang sakit, ang bilis ng transfer, dapat sasabihin mo ng brain mo, ay, ang sakit, ang sakit. Gagawin mo, ouch, ouch, di ba, ganon. So, yun yung sinasabi nating interprets. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng nangyayari, lahat ng nakikita ng ating sense organ, nararamdaman, ini-interpret siya ng ating brain. Okay? Yan po si brain, the main organ of our nervous system. Okay, let's talk about the parts of the brain. We have three parts of the brain. We have the cerebrum, cerebellum, and the brainstem. Tingnan natin sa picture. Ayan po, cerebrum. When we are talking about the cerebrum, it is the largest part of our brain. Siya yung pinakamalaking part ng ating utak. And its function, this part receives sensory messages. When we say sensory message, yan yung mga nararamdaman. Okay, let's say for example, given the example kanina, nakulot ka, nasaktan ka, nakiliti ka, di ba? Yun yung trabaho ni cerebrum. Siya yung nagre-receive ng sensory messages. Next, we have the cerebellum. It is responsible for man's ability to learn habits and develop skills. When we are talking about the cerebellum, siya naman yung sa mga skills. Let's take for example, sa paglalaro. 'Di ba? Magaling ka sa ganitong laro. Magaling ka sa ganitong sport. So si cerebellum ang nagfa-function doon. And next, we have the brainstem contains vital centers for autonomic functions. Okay, balikan natin tong tatlo na to. Idagdag din natin, si cerebrum, siya din yung responsible for the thinking, decision-making ng ating katawan or ng ating brain. Let's say, for example, nagsasolve ka ng problem. O, ang gumagana dyan ay si cerebrum. Okay? Si cerebellum naman kapag naglalaro ka. Okay? So, yan. We have the brain. Brain is the main part of our, or the main organ of our nervous system, and it has three parts. We have the cerebrum, cerebellum, brain stem. Okay? Next naman, punta naman tayo sa next organ ni nervous system. Okay? Now, let's talk about the spinal cord. It extends downward from medulla oblongata through 4/5 of the spinal column. O, di ba? If you can still remember, si spine, siya ay part ng ating skeletal system. And also, part din siya ng ating nervous system because nakalagay dyan, it extends downward. So, meaning to say, ang spinal cord natin or yung spine natin, yan ay directly connected to our brain. O, di ba? Kung nababalitaan nyo, once na ang tao ay na-injured, nabalian ng spinal cord, nagiging paralyzed ang isang tao because our spine is directly connected sa ating brain. And napakarami diyang nerve cells na kailangan makatawid papunta sa ating brain. And since siya ay hindi na putol na injured, sad to say, hindi na makatawid yung mga messages doon sa brain natin. And as a result, nagiging paralyzed ang isang injured na tao na naputulan or nasiraan ng spinal cord. Okay, yan po si spinal cord. And next, we also have the neurons. So, neurons is our nerve cell. It is the functional unit of nervous system. O, ayan o, si neurons. Meaning to say, yan yung mga messages, yan yung mga nagtatransmit ng mga messages sa ating katawan. And based dyan sa picture, yan ang itsura ng ating neurons. Okay, we have the cell body parts of our nerve cell. We have the cell body, we have the dendrites, and the axon. Okay? Next, we have the types of neuron. Marami tayong types ng neuron. We have the sensory neurons, carries messages from the receptors, organs, skins, eyes, nose, ears, and tongues. Ayan. When we are talking about the sense organ, di ba, we have the, ayan, no, sense organ, skins, eyes, nose, ears, and tongues. Ang gumaganang neurons dyan is si sensory neurons. And si sensory neuron, siya yung nagdadala ng mga messages na kung ano yung nakita natin, ano yung naramdaman natin, ano yung nalasahan natin, papunta kay brain, then doon lang siya i-interpret ni brain. Okay, sensory neurons. Next, we have the motor neurons, receives informations from nerve centers and transmit into the effector organs, muscle, or glands. So, when we say motor neurons, yan yung kapag gumagalaw na tayo. And we have the interneurons. They connect sensory neurons and motor neurons. Ayan, it connects the sensory at saka motor neurons, the interneurons. So, ayan, no? Yan yung parang mga electrical, ayan, yung parang mga electricity na based dyan sa representation. Yan yung mga nagdadala ng lahat ng messages sa ating katawan. Kapag nadapa ka, ayan, masakit. Yung sensory neurons, ang bilis yan tumakbo sa ating brain. Sasabihin ni sensory neurons, ay, masakit yung naramdaman nito. Interpret ni brains yan. O, ay, masakit. O, sasabihin ng mouth mo o ng tongue mo, ay, ang sakit. Diba? So, yun yung trabaho ni neurons. They carries the messages. Okay? Para ma-interpret ni brains. Okay? Remember, ayan ha, remember, a respiratory, circulatory, and nervous system coordinates to each other in order to perform its functions properly. Eto ba tandaan nyo, the respiratory, circulatory, at saka nervous system, nagko-coordinate yan. Sama-sama yan silang nagtutulong-tulong para maka-function at ma-provide ng ating katawan yung proper functions na kailangan niyang gawin. Okay? Hindi sila nagtatrabaho mag-isa, but they work together. Okay? O, yan po iyon. Okay? So, let's have, sige, tingnan nga natin. Let's have our evaluation. or direction, all you have to do is to classify the following organs to its corresponding body systems. Okay, ayan. I have prepared, ito yung mga organs na diniscuss natin. All you have to do is to type your letters sa ating comment box. Let's say, for example, si brain. Saan siya? Respiratory. Kung respiratory, type A. Kung circulatory, type B. And kung nervous system naman, type C. Okay, so let us start our evaluation. Tingnan natin sa mga comment box. Let's talk about brain. Saan siya? Saan under si brain? Is it A, B, or C? Ayan, tignan natin kung natatandaan. A, B, or C si brain. Ayan, very good. That is letter C. Si brain ay under ng nervous system. How about capillaries? Ito naman si capillaries. Tignan natin, capillaries. Okay, capillaries. Siya ay under ng, tignan natin. Okay, very good. Si capillaries is under, si trachea pala muna. Di natin nakita si trachea. Si trachea is under respiratory system. And we have the capillaries. Okay, capillaries naman tayo. Saan siya? A, B, or C? Okay, very good. The correct answer is letter B. Siya ay under ng circulatory system. How about number 3? We have the bronchi. Ayan, saan siya? Is it A, B, or C? Okay, ayan, very good. The correct answer is letter A. Siya ay under ng respiratory system. And the next one, we have the blood. Saan belong si blood? Is it A, B, or C? Okay, very good. So that is letter B. We have the circulatory system. And last 4. Sa 4 naman tayo, we have the spinal cord. Saan siya? Is it A, B, or C? Ayan, si 4, si spinal cord. So that is letter, very good. That is letter C. Nervous system po si spinal cord. And eto naman, kay heart naman tayo. And for sure, alam na alam kung saan belong si heart. Si heart ay under ng, is it A, B, or C? Okay, very good. So that is letter B. We have the circulatory system. And last 2, neurons. How about neurons? Is it A, B, or C? Ayan, si neurons. Okay, very good. So si neurons ay under siya ng nervous system. And of course, our last one, we have the lungs. Okay, very good. Ayan, si lungs for sure, alam na alam ng lahat kung saan si lungs. So si lungs is under our circulatory or respiratory system. Okay, very good. Ayan, ang daming sumasagot, active na active. And before we end with our discussion, let's talk about, ito naman, i-feature naman natin ang ating biologist, featured biologist. We have Charles Darwin. He is the proponent of the natural, he is the proponent of theory of evolution by natural selection. Yan po si Charles Darwin. Siya yung proponent ng theory of evolution. Okay? So, gusto nyo bang ma-feature? If you would like to feature as our batang scientist sa ating next session, ganito lang gagawin nyo. All you have to do is to take a picture of you watching our session and send it to our ETUlay Facebook page. Okay? Then, malay nyo, next week, kayo yung ma-feature natin na Batang Scientist of the Week. Okay? So, that's it, everyone. If you have something to say, kung meron kayong gustong suggestions, andyan po ang ating evaluation link. Pwede po kayong mag-comment dyan if there is something that we have or we need to improve tungkol sa ating discussion. Okay? So, that's it for today. Once again, thank you. Once again, I am Sir Tutor Vince from SDO Manila together with Tutor Doms from SDO Caloocan. And abangan nyo po ulit kami next Monday. Dito lang yan kasama ang inyong mga tutor scientistas. Okay? Kami po ang inyong makakasama every Monday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So that's it, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you all.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!